Hey guys, how you doing? This is Brother Bill, and I'm back down here by the garden on the corner where we've done all the other garden updates. Just got off work. Let's see what we've got out here. This is week 5 in a few days. But let's see what we've got going on here. Hold on just a second. Okay, well there's that sunflower you're looking at. It is almost 6 foot tall right now. And here's our cucumbers. And let me just walk you through here just for a second here. I've got to pick and see what we've got. Let me get down here so you can see. Okay, right there already, right off the top, we've got, these are the white cucumbers. Now they'll get as large as you want them, but you don't want them bigger than this. But that is a heirloom cucumber seed, and that I used. And I'm real glad about that, because several people around here like these kind of cucumbers. Not everybody does, but we have several that do. So they'll be excited about that. But I'm going to get through here in just a little bit and go through and just see what we've got. And then I'll show you at the end on this row here and whatever else we pick. But let me take you through and do a garden update real quick while I still got a little daylight. Okay, so there's the cucumber row. Here's our corn. Let me walk up here. If I stretch that, that is right at my height, which is 6 foot, which is good. 6 to 7 feet for this sweet ambrosia corn. As you can see, it's already tasseling. What a difference a little over a week makes. So that's kind of exciting. And during all that rain, we didn't get a lot of rain. We got a little bit of rain 2 early mornings, but not the torrential rain that everybody else seemed to get. And I guess I'm kind of glad of that, because if we had gotten the rain that everybody else had gotten, it would have done a lot of damage to the garden. So I'm thankful for what we've got. But there's the beans, and they are full of blooms, so we'll have some beans here soon. And that is the row of bush beans right there. Banana peppers, been putting quite a bit of those on the vegetable stand of Gracie's. And there's our tomatoes. I need to get out here and get these tied up again, hopefully this evening, right here. And let me get you walked around here. Again, these sunflowers are taking off. This one right here is probably 7 foot tall, so they'll get double that size right there. But anyway, we do have this row of greasy beans, and then next to that is the other row of tomatoes. I haven't seen this garden look this green in quite some time, so tickled about that. And here's our other beans. This is our rattlesnake pole bean. We're getting beans on that, on this hoop here. And then right here, this one is the half runners. So they're looking good. And the stages of the corn is different. You can see here, this is tasseling also, but we've also got that going on too. So, and this is taller. This is more than 7 foot tall, this row here. And again, I don't expect it to get too much taller, but we'll see. The stalks look really good and thick, so they ought to hold the corn quite well. Here is our row of white McCaslin beans. Kind of almost each night I'm having to string these back up. So anyway, they're looking good. Here's that row of corn with the 150 stalks in it. So we're going to keep an eye on that one and monitor that. And then we've got this other row of corn here right beside of it, and it's doing well. Next up, we've got those 2 rows of okra. This heat has done wonders for those. And here's our cucumbers all the way down, if you remember, to about 3/4, and then we've got cantaloupe on the end. I had some sweet potato plants, and these are some old mineral buckets that I had stored, I haven't used yet. So we're going to try and grow some sweet potatoes in these. They've taken root pretty good already, so I think they're going to be just fine. And that's pretty loose soil. That's my own compost and a whole lot of rabbit manure. Okay, in this next row, this is the shortest row in the garden of corn. but it's doing well also. Alrighty, well, let's go to the back of the garden. I'm going to put you on pause just 1 second. Hang on. Alright, guys, there goes my motion detector. Here's the back of the garden. As you can see, things are looking very good. And this is the very back of the garden. It's one little patch. This Indian corn is doing well also. And I'm really liking the way the watermelons are doing. They're holding that water in there really well. And of course, you know, watermelon need their water. So we've got that, and then here's this little patch of Timothy grass, just as I expected. The weeds are taking over here. That's okay, because it was an experiment. I just wanted to see how fast it would grow and get an idea what that's going to look like. So I'm probably going to till this back up and put something out here. I don't know what, but we'll put something. And then we've got this other row of corn right there. That's the Indian corn as well, and that's doing good. All right. Hey, Daisy, come on. Come on. She's out there nosing around. I don't like her on the edge of the wood line there, because coyotes like hanging out there and they snatch her up. But anyway, here's the back of the garden again, and we do have cucumbers out here as well. And it looks like we've got some. Yeah, right there. So I'm going to be out here picking all this in just a minute. And here's our squash plants going down through there. I'm just real pleased with the garden this year. It's doing very well. And then these cucumbers here that's in these pots, they seem to like that better than being put in the ground in this particular corner right here. Haven't figured that out, but either way, I'm not going to complain about it. It's doing good. So I do have some picking to do. I do got squash on these plants, I can see, and some zucchini. And then we've got those potatoes. I need to get some more dirt mounded around those. I did have a deer or a groundhog come in. As you can see, chewed off some of those leaves on these sweet potatoes. So I had to just I was in a hurry, so I didn't have much time, but I went ahead and put this around there last night, so it seems to have taken care of that problem. Here's this old onion bed, and I'm going to have to do something with that real soon. I'm going to be off for several days this week, so I've got a lot of work to get done. And that volunteer squash, I found out what this was. There's a cross-pollination going on between the zucchini and the squash. That's what that is. Tastes the same, but it looks different. So we'll fry that up. And there's another squash plant in there. And more potatoes right here. And again, I've got to get some dirt around this one. Well, actually, this whole mound right here. Okay, here's that corn that I put out in this raised bed. This was the bed we had the problem with a fire ant. And it looks like it's probably, I'm guessing, 3.5 foot tall, which is good. Again, this is an experiment to see what we can grow in such a small space. But it looks like it's doing well also. And the cucumber plant there is just full of blooms. It's a good time for the garden, I tell you. And tomato plants, and these are loading up. They're loading up with tomatoes, and everything is just so green. I'm just tickled death with that. You can see just tomatoes everywhere. And this is the large cherry tomato. In this next raised bed, there's 4 of those. And here's a squash plant. That was a voluntary squash. I didn't plant that, but you can see it's already dying out. Don't know why. I'm not real concerned with it. I didn't plant it. So if it wants to grow, I'll let it. If it don't, we'll yank her up. And here's a couple of tomato plants. Again, these are experiments. 2 of them are on stakes, and this one, I'm just letting it go. I'm just testing. I got more than enough tomatoes, so I've got the privilege to be able to, or have the opportunity to do something like this and just test it. And I'm just going to see what will grow if it's not staked up. Here's that voluntary squash plant that's in these pots. And we've got this sunflower here decided to grow as well. Again, here's our carrots again. You can see that's what it looks like when it starts going to seed. And we'll save all that. And then some more tomato plants there. And here as well. And then those 2 plants that I replaced the sugar snap peas with. That's 2 squash plants. They're doing also very well. Okay, let me get flipped around here. There's that old peach tree. Of course, we're not going to get any fruit off that this year. And an apple tree there and an apple tree there. Now this bed here, now this is the no-till area. This has never been tilled. It's just all been broken down compost and plants and all that kind of stuff. But the fig tree is really spreading out. And this rhubarb, I have got to get either tomorrow or the next day and get that cooked up. And we have some zucchini. Oh man, I should have been out here 2 days ago, because look at this. Yep, too big, but that's okay. That's going to make some awesome zucchini bread. And here is, looks like cantaloupe. And I've got really good news for myself. Look at that, comfrey. Excited about that. I have been waiting for a while to grow some of that, so it's come up. And that's a perennial, so that'll come back every year. Okay, there's that. Now let's get you over here to the raised beds closer to the house. Hang on just a second. All right, walking up on this first raised bed. This is a 4x8. I think I've said that before. I gotta get this stuff tied up. See, they go everywhere. All right, so I gotta get that tied up, but we got little tomatoes in there, so that's good. These onions look great. They're blowing up a little bit too. And then we had to fill in the nook and crannies right here because we had some space, and I put some squash plants. These tomato plants are doing really well. I think, again, that's these Rutgers, and they're loading up. Everything is just doing very well, and I'm so pleased by it. I know I'm blessed, no doubt about it. And then here's, again, I've got to get these in the ground right here, and I've got to get that in the ground as well. And here is some backups again. What is that, watermelon? So we got some watermelon plants, 3, some more squash when the squash die out, and we got our pumpkins, which I'm going to put over across the field. And here's some more pumpkins. Here's 4 more. So I want to put that across the field. What I'm going to end up doing is pulling out 2 rows of okra, because I couldn't get over there to get it weeded, but I was able to save 2 rows. So I'm going to plow up the other 2 and put those pumpkins out there. So that ought to be a good filler. And here's those banana, or not banana, but Sunray, the golden cherry tomato type tomatoes. They took off. So, and that's been just a little over a week since they've been in here. So I'm glad about that. Some more tomatoes here. I know it looks like there's an excess, but this stuff is going to get used and sold, one or the other. And look at my blueberries. Yep, they're doing awesome. Here's that pumpkin plant. It's taking over the yard, looks like. So, again, this was voluntary. I didn't plant this. This is growing in that compost pile. So, we're just going to let it keep going. All right, let's take you up through here through the rest of these beds. The zinnias are starting to come on. Look at there. It's going to bring those bees in. Pollinators. You know, I've often wondered why things grow so well here. I'm not a garden guru, and I sure don't do things like I'm supposed to, I guess you could say, according to the gurus. But what I do is I try to prepare some good soil, find some good seed, save the seed that's been passed down, the stuff that works year after year, and kind of keep things weeded, not weedless, just cut back. And I don't know, the Lord blesses it. I know I pray often about this garden because I want it to be a blessing to the folks that eat from it. I want them to eat it and say, man, I've never tasted a squash like that one, or a cucumber, or whatever it is, and just pray that the Lord would bless them that eat from it. I do know I do that. And I know that's not in the books of things to do to take care of your gardens, but that's what I do. And I'm sure thankful that I have the opportunity to do this. This is exciting. Still exciting to do this. And here we go. So we got cucumbers up here. But just look out here. Look at this. Let me back up. There's Daisy Dog. All right, let me back up. Look at this. I mean, it is just in abundance. I'm truly, truly blessed to have this garden. So, but I don't have a lot of time this evening of daylight, so I'm going to have to get out here and pick what needs to be picked and get that on the vegetable stand so people can start enjoying these things tomorrow morning. I do have a little bit left over on the vegetable stand, but not much. Looks like some folks took some things today. So anyway, there you go. There's our garden update number 5.5, because it's been 5.5 weeks since we started. But anyway, hope everybody's well, and we will see you on that next video. And until then, y'all take care.